Back again with another in-depth Vanguard. This time we're going to finish up looking at the actual cards themselves with the grade 3s. Now this is basically the bread and butter of your deck, of your win condition primarily, because these are the final grades, these are the ones that are going to do the most damage. As with all the other units before, they've got their own unique ability as being part of the grade 3, which is the twin drive, which lets you drive check the top two cards of your top two of your deck, which makes this far more powerful than any of the other grades. Along with that, they have probably the more powerful abilities in general. So to begin with, you've got the cards like this, which have basically a soul charge ability, which is where you take the top card of your deck and put it underneath into its soul to have it gain a certain effect. And when their second ability is normally when you have 8 in soul and you have 5 unflicked damage, you can activate the effect of their Mega Blast, so in this case we've got Longing, which destroys all your opponent's rear guards. Vortex destroys up to 3 rear guards, and Mr. Invincible actually lets you restand every unit as long as it hits. So pretty good, but not the best grade 3s you can get, just purely on the fact that the only good thing about it is, say with these two, you get plus 2,000 power from the soul charge. And then you have cards that have only got, like, I should just mention that most generic grade 3s at the moment will only have 10,000 power. And then you get the odd ones with 11 but with a condition, but we'll look at that in a minute. Next you have ones that have got under 10k but have a far more unique ability, such as Gancelot, where if you send him back to the deck, you fetch a Blaster Blade from the deck and add it to your hand. This means that you can have 2 grade 3s in hand if this is one of them, and you've got no grade 2s. Technically he's another Blaster Blader, so it's a 1-for-1 in essence, just putting one back in to get one out. Bit underestimated in my opinion, but whatever. Then you got the 11k beaters, which tend to only have 11k as long as you have another Vanguard, another unit as its type. So you got Overlord and Kaiser, which need to have both either a Kagero or a Nova Grappler in play as well to make sure it has 11,000 power. And as such, they have the more, like I said, the grade 3s tend to have the more powerful abilities. So Overlord gains 5k and can attack. If he attacks a rear guard, gets to restand. And if Kaiser reveals a grade 3 while it's Vanguard, it can restand any Nova Grappler on the field on your side. Which basically means if you get a stand trigger and a grade 3, you've basically restood an entire column, which makes him pretty good. And finally, you got the cards that you can superior ride. Basically, this can, although I haven't got the grade 2 variant of this, lets you summon this card from the deck as long as you meet the requirements. So in this case, you need Alf, the grade 2 Alf, Embodiment of Bar, and Embodiment of Speartar. And what you do is you can send them soul, and this can be brought from the deck itself. That's the effect on it's not that brilliant, to be honest, but it's the fact that there are units that let you gain to grade 3 pretty much on your second turn. So if you go first, get your grade 1, they attack you, take 1 damage, you can then, when you go into your grade 2, you can automatically, and you've got everything there, you can go into your grade 3 while they're still on grade 1, which means you're 2 turns ahead, which gives big pluses in the long term. I mean, there's not much to say really about the grade 3s at the moment, because there's not much in terms of variation, but this just gives you an understanding on what the grade 3s are capable of. The main reason of the grade 3 is just the twin drive, but in essence you could try and get the effects off as much as possible if you can. And with that, we've finished our look at the grades. So I'll see you guys next time for another in-depth Vanguard.